Hi there, I'm Alex from Boldly. The strengths-based approach to coaching is one that we really support here at Boldly. It's about understanding the attributes and the qualities that your supervisee has and how they can be used in the future, not just about pinpointing deficits and weaknesses. When we're thinking about coaching, it's about how to build this individual up, how to make sure that they have the confidence and understand what their personal resources are, so that if in the future they do hit hard times or they do need to address a weakness, they actually know what their assets are and what's in their hands. So Pauline's going to share more with you about this strengths-based approach. I'd encourage you to take this on as a mindset. It's positive psychology in action, and we really look forward to working with you as you take on this posture and this tone as a coach.
A strengths-based approach to coaching specifically casts your supervisee as resourceful and resilient, having skills and attributes already existing within them that can be brought into action for performance. Here are some examples of the type of strengths you might be hearing or seeing in your supervisee. Are they curious, open-minded, perhaps assertive or responsible? These are all positive qualities that help your supervisee get results at work. So you can help your supervisee to put their finger on their strengths and think about how and when they come into play. So firstly, have a think about your own character strength. You can jot down some describing words so you can confirm and hold these strengths in your mind about yourself. This takes some self-reflection and also some vulnerability too. You don't have to share your strengths with your supervisee, but simply doing this small exercise yourself helps you to understand, firstly, how hard it can be to put your finger on the right describing word. Sometimes you need others around to give you this language to accurately represent the nuance of your strengths and attributes. And secondly, once defined, how you start to proactively use those strengths even more than you might have before you name them. Maybe next time you encounter a challenge or deficit at work, your strengths come to mind and you're able to counterbalance your approach to the work with the faculties you know you have, rather than the skills you don't have for that case. This makes you feel like you have more resources and agency to get the tough work done. Again, your questioning skills come into play here to help your supervisee define and utilize their strengths. You can ask directly, what are your strengths? But also you might probe further by asking, how did you come to define these as your strengths? Did you get feedback, or is this your personal assessment? Another example is, who else could you ask to confirm these strengths and maybe dig up a few others? Or how do you see these strengths showing up in your work? Or how else could you be using these strengths right now, where you perhaps haven't been applying them yet? So, for example, if your supervisee has a strength in being charismatic and naturally diplomatic, and through conversation, it becomes apparent that they are using this attribute to the benefit of their peer and client relationships, but they are at a loss using it in conversation with senior within the company. This is worth digging into. What's holding them back from using their charismatic nature and diplomacy with seniors? What approach have they been taking instead, and why? How might these strengths be applied with clients? What has worked with peers that could be adjusted to carry it across to others? Digging in here not only builds confidence, but also broadens a more creative approach towards development.
Hopefully now you have a strong view of the strengths-based approach and why we are such big supporters of it. It's a mindset for you as a supervisor, as well as a skill set. It's about how you support your supervisee to identify their strengths, but leverage them into the future for the benefit of their career as well. So come back to the list that we've shared of some typical strengths. You might have others to share too. This is all about how you continue building that EQ that we mentioned in the previous video. Understanding some of this language, being able to use it and identify it just helps you as the supervisor in understanding a little bit more of the nuance of the skill sets of how your individuals develop.